Well, thank you so much for having me. I'll be speaking from here, walking around. If everyone can see me, I know I'm tall enough. So today, well, thank you for having me here. I'm not like the traditional physician. I left clinical medicine immediately after getting my MD. Right, I know that many people here are envious, I know. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna keep it short. I'm not gonna be very technical in my talk. And I would love for it to be very interactive. So if you have any question in the middle or at the end, please let me know about the fields that we're gonna be talking about, or about biotech entrepreneurship and the startups in biotech in general. So today I'm gonna be talking about biomedical applications of artificial intelligence, which is, we're living in a very hot times when it comes to AI. Many of you have encountered ChatGPT, and I'm certain that advancements in large language models have been changing the world. And luckily for us at Bionel, we've been working in this space for a year and a half, and now is the time coming with ChatGPT. I'm gonna be talking about Bionel later, but first let's start immediately with biomedical applications of AI. And I'm gonna try to touch base with multiple fields of medicine, and let's start immediately with the field of diagnostics. And diagnostics is actually one of the oldest fields where AI has been playing massive roles in medicine, specifically because of the many advancements of computer vision. And Dr. Khalid here is one of the oldest experts, by the way, Jordanian experts in AI, and he's here with us. And he has been working in computer vision for more than 20 years now. And today, AI is actually transforming the field of radiology. And radiology might be the soonest field where AI will be playing massive roles at. And hopefully, in a few years, radiologists are going to be like medical cyborgs, where they depend on the machine in massive parts of what they do. And if you want to see like one example of one of the most advanced examples is IBM Watson system. So this is a very simple diagnostic system that helps physicians every day. So simply, you have this very clear image, and you give the system the history of the patient, everything that this patient had in the past, previous surgeries, everything, all the images, and you can see that the machine or the AI model would try to analyze all of this data. It would see, okay, this patient had a hard murmur, has a hard murmur, it has an acute chest pain, it's 36 years old, let's see what he has here, let's look at his CT, let's start and formulate a 3D model out of this CT. And you can see that this is a generated 3D model out of all of these CT images, and then it starts to analyze all of these, and it builds this analysis tree. It's called an analysis tree here, where, okay, this is mostly this is a case of aortic dissection in this case, in addition to the might be other diagnostics that this patient is going through. So this is just an example where you can give this machine all these data types, images, history, and all of these technical details, and it goes into this. This is another example of, I think, of a fibroadenoma, where you give them the image. This is steps of analysis of what's happening with this AI model, and it can start analyzing what's the shape of this mass, what's the density, how do the margins look like, and all of these things would lead, like most probably this is a fibroadenoma of the breast. So this is how these AI models, and today these AI models are advancing massively. One of the most famous studies like that was published 5 years ago or more, maybe 6 now, that there was almost 14%. There were 3 levels of physicians, of radiologists, and 14% was the percentage of false negatives coming from physicians, and the false negative percentage from the machine was 0%. This gives us just a look of how, in this very specific task, machines can really perform much better than humans. And we were discussing this earlier on lunch, like the delay now in heavily onboarding all of these AI models is mostly a regulatory delay rather than a performance delay. So this gives us a look of how we as physicians need to start looking at these things and how we should embrace them and innovate with them rather than staying older. So this is in radiology. There are many projects from the industry that are changing the industry completely. One of the most famous projects that has been ongoing for almost 16 years now, a project by Microsoft called NRI, which is one of the most open source radiology libraries there is. So you as a physician, you can download these libraries, you can upload your images on. When I mean libraries, I mean these are libraries, these are already existing AI models that you can onboard and start working on your own data, your own images. So this is one of the most open source projects there is. In CT scan, it has many projects. Scientists contribute to this all the time. So it's very rich and has been growing for almost 15 years now. So yeah, this is another example I really love. And this is a partnership that has been going by DeepMind, which is a company that was acquired by Google. So DeepMind is, you know OpenAI, we've been hearing about OpenAI a lot. It's the company that Microsoft is almost trying to buy, which is an R&D arm of Microsoft when it comes to AI applications. DeepMind is that arm for Google. So notable achievements of DeepMind in chess and the game of Go, and AlphaFold in healthcare. They're the company that launched AlphaFold, which is the most advanced application for protein modeling predictions, which is very interesting. I'm sorry I did not put it here in the presentation, I should have. But anyway, this partnership in the field of imaging that Google partnered with the Moorfields Hospital, eye hospital, to try to predict AMD very early on. And this study was very interesting because they brought patients with an XAMD in one eye and a potential AMD in the second eye. And the prediction was extremely high. I think it was above 90%. And there's a whole publication on DeepMind's website. You can find it, which is very interesting in the field of ophthalmology. A very interesting application there. All right, in the field of diabetic retinopathy, there's massive advancements there as well. And this is it is from DeepMind as well, I think. And it is being implemented in India today at a very massive scale. So the thing is, there are a massive lack of ophthalmologists in India and in doctors in India as well that can detect diabetic retinopathy. And the problem here is that many patients reach blindness without being screened. So what if we can achieve early screening for all of these patients using an AI model? And it is being deployed today, and it does this massive filtration system for the whole population that has a potential diabetic retinopathy, and it has been achieving massive results as well. In the field of dermatology. So in the field of dermatology, there are massive advancements as well. And this is one study that brought 58 dermatologists to detect melanoma. And out of these, which is a very specific kind of hard melanoma, it's called dermoscopic melanoma. The accuracy for the dermatologists in detecting it was 86.6%, and the convolutional neural network, which is an AI model, basically detected at an accuracy of 95%, which is very interesting. So you can see that fields that require massive amount of imaging, computer vision has been supporting these fields massively. You can download this application on your mobile phone today. It's called Skin Vision, where you can have a subscription of $5 or $10, and you can start detecting some lesions, skin lesions that you're afraid of, and maybe it gives you a probability that this might be dangerous and you should check it out with a dermatologist or with your primary healthcare professional. In the field of pathology as well, there's this big startup. It's called Path AI. I forgot where it's located, but they're doing massive amounts of work where they help pathologists and they enhance their work in detection. Until this day, I don't really know how pathologists do their work. It's extremely hard. There are many false negative cases in the field of pathology. Any pathologists here in the room? I'm certain he struggles every day. And they spend a huge amount of time trying to detect these lesions. And you can see that these AI systems are helping them massively. And hopefully, they're getting integrated in each lab here in the US. So this is in the field of computer vision and diagnostics. I'm going to go through this very quickly, but it's because it's one of the biggest areas in medicine in general, but it's mostly in pharma, but I'm gonna go through it anyway. Now there's massive advancements when it comes to the area of drug discovery, where AI is playing massive roles. It's either in drug targets, so you're trying to do some bioinformatics on omics data and so on, or trying to discover new pharmaceuticals and all of these areas. This is mainly because what happened in the last 20 years of why AI is advancements is basically because of three big, massive advancements in the field of artificial intelligence. And this is mainly because we were able to achieve high computational power and high processing power. The second thing, with the revolution of GPUs and all of this, we have massive large data sets. The field of medicine is being regulated worldwide, even in Jordan. There are very advanced regulation of this data and collection of this data. And we have some advanced algorithms. So the scientists chipped in here and tried to build these advanced algorithms. And these are the three main factors why AI in general is advancing, not only in healthcare. But in pharma, of course, the process is really hard to reach a potential drug target, or not even a drug target, a drug. It's really hard going through all of these clinical trials and so on. So there has been many advancements in the field of pharma, and let's go through it maybe very quickly. So Pfizer has a very big collaboration in the field of oncology. This has been going for years between Pfizer and IBM in the field of cancer drug discovery. Roche has many collaborations as well. Exscientia is a very interesting company because it has the first drug to go through clinical trials, and it gets approved worldwide. So that's very interesting. Now, instead of going into the literature manually and try to develop potential drug targets and potential drugs, now your AI model would go into this massive amounts of data. Imagine this AI model would go into data of all previous patients that took this specific drug, and all of the chemical structures, and all of the 3D structures of this drug, and all of the potential receptors that would fit this specific drug. And it goes on all of this and gives you the top 5 potential chemicals that would accelerate this drug discovery process for this specific disease. And this, what it went through, I believe it was in cancer, I think. So pharmaceutical bioinformatics and the field of bioinformatics has been advancing massively with the power of AI. And bioinformatics basically means it's data science for omics data. And when we say omics data, it's the field of genomics, proteomics, transcriptomics, metabolomics, epigenomics, and all of these things. So now all of these layers of sequencing data, we call them omics data. And the science that studies this is called bioinformatics. And for all of my fellow young medical doctors, bioinformatics is the most accelerating field in medicine today. The requirements for bioinformaticians is huge and is massive, and there's a huge lack of bioinformaticians worldwide, not only in the US. So what this company tries to do, this is a very interesting company in Oxford. It's called Nucleon Therapeutics. They're literally trying to decode the dark matter and search for potential drug targets in the dark matter of the genome, not on genes. They don't look for potential drug targets in genes. So what if there is, for example, in the dark matter part of the genome, an inhibitor or an activator for a cancerous gene? So we don't play with the cancerous gene today. What if we can stop the activator from working? What if I can inhibit that protein that sticks to the inhibitor of that gene that can stop this cancerous protein from building up? So that's a huge area of bioinformatics that is growing, and I really encourage any young physician here to go into that field. If you're old, you're old. It's fine. If you're old, you're good. Yeah. So yeah, you can work as well in biomedical robotics. I don't know if we can play this. Let me try. So the area of robotics, of course, has been growing massively during the years. And robotics in medicine is the most dangerous area of robotics. So, and specifically in robotic arms. But there are several companies that have been trying this. the people here that work at Mayo Clinic or something, they see this maybe every day. It's a company called Da Vinci, but there has been massive advancements there. So surgeons there, you need to start looking into this. Let's see if this plays. Yeah. So, yeah. Perfect. So yeah, so as you can see, this is a fully robotic arm switching a grape. I don't know if there's any human that can does that, to be honest. So the precision, the amount, and this is fully autonomous. Fully autonomous. Like you're combining computer vision techniques with robotics, with movement, and so on. And to be honest, this is advancing massively. Like this video is a little bit old. There are many newer robotic arms coming after this. So surgeons now are trying to embed these technologies with their work, and robotic arms are already being deployed for the generic tasks during a surgery, like maybe switching the skin or the fat layer, I don't know. But yeah, not the most dangerous areas, let's say, but it's coming anyway, and we need to be prepared for this. That's the area of robotics. Maybe you can work in large language models. And this is where I work. This is my area of work in my company. But the thing is, large language models are AI models that have been trained on massive amounts of data. And when we say massive amounts of data, we say billions of internet pages, the Wikipedia, books, papers, code, everything. These are massive models. And like training these models would cost you like maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is where companies like OpenAI and Google leading these technologies, and they're fighting today. So we get out of this models like ChatGPT and GPT-3, Codex, GPT-3, DALI, where you just generate full images from text, or you generate code from text, or you generate text from text. And a few days back, GPT-4 was launched. GPT-4 was launched. This is a massive model built on, I think, trillions of parameters on massive amounts of data, which is multimodal. Like what it means by multimodal, like you can get multiple inputs into it. So you put text, you put images, you put tables into it, and it gives you a text outcome. So imagine yourself again, an internal medicine doctor. You would give the history of the patient, you would give X-ray images, CT scans, you would give tables from his previous lab results, and it gives you the most advanced outcome or diagnosis for this patient. That's what GPT-4 is built on. And GPT means generative pre-trained language models. We can talk more in Q&A about large language models, but it has been changing the world because now many of the redundant tasks of you as physicians can be removed. Bionil is built on this. Bionil is the startup I lead in Boston, which is basically a no-code bioinformatics research platform. Many scientists, many physicians want to do bioinformatics, but we simply hate writing code. We hate it. We hate Python, we hate R, we hate code, right? So Bionel comes like, you would say, for example, plot a histogram of this gene out of this data set and make it yellow and add spaces between columns. And you press enter, it gives you the Python code and the outcome. That's what Bionel gives you, and hopefully it will reshape the industry of how scientists do bioinformatics research, and we are proudly the first startup in this space. It was really outrageous to go into bioinformatics. It was really complex, and we're extremely delighted that we are the first startup doing this in the world, and we are extremely delighted that this was built by Jordanian engineers in Jordan, right? The business team is in the US. I live in Boston, but the whole team is in Jordan building a world-class product of large language models, bioinformatics, and shipping it to scientists all over the globe. So that's our pride there. So AI in healthcare, it's a massive industry, growing massively. In 2021, it is an 11 billion industry. This is AI in healthcare. This is not AI, this is AI in healthcare. It's an 11 billion industry in 2021. In 2030, it's projected to reach out to $188 billion industry, and hopefully it will save 150 billion by 2026. So this is where we're at. You can start today. AI is being integrated in each field of medicine. And why we are talking
data بحاول نستراكشر داتا. وثالث شغله كبيره عم نلعب فيها اليوم بالاي ام ار ريكوردز هو بالكلينيكال ترايل ديزاين. اليوم حتى في بوسطن clinical trials are so late. I don't know if the other cities, but انه يعني احيانا اليوم عشان تريكروت patients for a clinical trial عم بلاقيهم بحطوا بالبوردز في المستشفيات وعم بيعلنوا على السوشيال ميديا which is crazy. So اليوم في كثير شركات they're charging للهوسبيتالز ارقام فلكيه يعني من الفلوس انه بقول لك تعال انا بدخل على يو اي اتش ار داتا بنفضها كلياتها وبقول لك انه عندك من هدول ال 10 مليون بيشنتس هدول 100 بيشنت احسن بيشنتس تحكي معهم مشان this clinical trial. So you go to them, you talk to them, you recommend them وغيره. So هاي الطريقه الثالثه اللي بدخل بالاي اتش ار داتا. This field of where AI is playing a role على الاي ام ار ريكوردز اسمه clinical data science. Clinical data science, right? له specific jobs. الناس بس وظيفتهم هم data scientists بس بيشتغلوا على الاي ام ار داتا. اسمهم clinical data scientists, which you as physicians كثير قراب من هذا الفيلد. So انت ممكن تعمل degree مثلا في data science وتصير clinical data scientists. برضه they're working at top companies. They're trying to make these systems better and better.
Jeff, great presentation. So for the novices in technology for us, so great presentation. We read about this. How can we get involved? So AI 101 for the physician who wants to get involved in the future.
Right. Perfect. All right. So first of all, اليوم العالم كثير عم يتطور بسرعه بيختلف، يعني لو ترجع قبل 20 سنه يمكن دكتور خالد ما ضل قليل عم كيب كوتينج بهم، قبل 20 سنه كنت لازم تضطر تتعلم تكتب كود، انت لازم تكتب كل شيء من الصفر، you develop your own libraries بالهيلث كير وغيره. اليوم الطريق كثير مختصر، اليوم في كثير services, online services, let's call them machine learning as a service. يعني you can go to the platform, everything is ready for you, all the necessary libraries are loaded, and you don't need to write code كثير حتى تعمل ايش بدك اياه. So this is one. Two, again, you need to learn what are the important libraries, يعني already existing AI models that are important for you. So انت على سبيل المثال تشتغل على clinical data. في already existing many Python libraries already existing أو are بنوهم الناس قبلك. You can simply onboard them and do your discovery work. هاي الشغلة الثانية. Three, في لسه advanced platforms that charge you more, which you can do research immediately on the spot. يعني تدخل على التول, it's mostly drag and drop, right? يعني it's very simple to do your research. بسهولة. في tools لسه أسهل وأسهل, and hopefully we're gonna charging people more and more. زي Biomedical, where you do your research from writing text. You're not confined by drag and drop solutions. You can do whatever you want بالتكست تبعك. هلا ليش أنا بعمل كل هذا الكلام؟ لأن أنت كميديكال دكتور اليوم بدك تدخل على مجال AI. You're not supposed to learn how to do it. You need to learn how to become a scientist, how to become a data scientist. That's the hard part. So the hard part is not in learning the tools, which many people think. مفكر كل الناس إنه يا الله بايثون وبروجرامينج وهاي مش فاهم شيء. مش هو الفكره تتعلم التولز لانه هذا كثير صار مسهل اليوم في العالم، بقدر ما انك تتعلم تكون real data scientist to learn what I want to ask, what I want to ask. This is a real bioinformatics task. What I want to ask the data, how do I want to play with the data, how do I want to pre-process the data. That's a tough question. It's not how to do it tools wise. بقدر انك تتعلم تكون data scientist with your mentality. يعني if I want to answer you better. هل لازم لك specific tools ممكن ابعث لك اياهم من ناحيه التفصيل
يعطيك العافيه بس انك قلت اني اتدخل واعلق على كلامك مضبوط 100%. بس في نقطه مهمه. You don't really need to know how to become a data scientist. You are a great physician, doctor, you are specialized in your field. That's why you have research teams. يعني معظم اللي بشتغل معهم انا بالريسيرش احنا نشتغل مع دكاتره راديولوجيست كل التخصصات ويكون عندهم تيم داتا انجينير تعرف كيف يديروا مانيبيوليت الداتا، في بيكون داتا ساينتست كمان بيشتغلوا وبيعملوا الكودينج وانت you can contribute with your technical knowledge. Now في كثير ناس they go out of their يعني way زي ما يعني نصحونا الدكتور أمجد you go and learn how to become Python. بس هذول قلال يعني كثير و I think they have to struggle. Currently there are initiatives إنهم يدخلوا ال AI in the curriculum of medical medicine. So بحكي لك إنه في كثير إحنا ندخل المواد هذول يعني don't really use. Instead we should start teaching AI in the medical field.
Right. يعني انا اوكي سوري بدي اخذ بس هذه النقطه بس تعليق صغير جدا انه الحقيقه انت being a physician بحس انه جزء كبير من عملنا كفيزيشنز انك انت اصلا ساينتست بطبيعه الحال، يعني انت كل يوم تعرف جديده، كل يوم تضطر انك تستكشف تعرف اشياء جديده. Doing data science and very soon doing bioinformatics as ما الأوميك سيت اليوم عم تدخل على الميديكال فيلد is not a luxury، يعني هي شيء اساسي من طريق المستقبل. يعني being understanding البايوinformatics والجينومكس والبروتيوميك layers behind your patient is not a luxury. It's something very very important. Introducing these topics في التعليم هي اساسي يعني بشكل ضخم جدا. فبتمنى من جماعتنا بدل ما عم ناخذ كثير مواد ربما ما لها داعي تدخل هاي المواد بشكل اساسي. يمكن
I have to. So we work in AI and oil and gas. So talk about low tech, complete low tech, drilling engineers, production engineers, and the introduction of AI threatened everywhere.
Right.
And the solution we approach from a development point of view is learn to be a scientist, or go back to being a scientist and not get lost in the cyclone of transactions that you do every day, and develop that skills. But I want to, for the younger generation, it's a threat. I want to warn you about it. So focus on trying to make it part of your exercise. You can be a subject matter expert, scientist, working in parallel. We did it with the drilling engineers. They hated us when we showed up, but it worked like magic, and everybody became smarter, more productive, and embraced it. Like it was not a challenge after they saw the benefit of it. But whoever didn't embrace it was left behind. So take it as a warning from another industry.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed and benefited from this, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
هم ضمن structured data، كل unstructured data بحولها لstructured data. وثالث شغله كبيره عم بنلعب فيها اليوم بالاي ام ار ريكوردز هو بالكلينيكال ترايل ديزاين. اليوم حتى في بوسطن clinical trials are so late. I don't know if it be other cities, but انه يعني احيانا اليوم عشان تريكروت patients for a clinical trial عم بلاقيهم بحطوا بالبوردز في المستشفيات وعم بينهم على السوشيال ميديا which is crazy. So اليوم في كثير شركات و they're charging الهوسبيتالز ارقام فلكيه يعني من الفلوس انه بقول لك تعال انا بدخل على يورو اي اتش ار داتا بنفضها كلياتها وبقول لك انه عندك من هدول ال 10 مليون بيشنتس هدول 100 بيشنت احسن بيشنتس تحكي معهم مشان this clinical trial. So you go to them, you talk to them, you recommend them, whatever. So هاي الطريقة الثالثة اللي بدخل بالاي HR data. This field of where AI is playing a role على EMR records اسمه clinical data science. Clinical data science, right? له specific jobs. ناس بس وظيفتهم هم data scientists بس بيشتغلوا على EMR data. اسمهم clinical data scientists, which you as physicians كثير قراب من هذا الفيلد. So انت ممكن تعمل degree مثلا في data science وتصير clinical data scientists. برضه they're working at top companies. They're trying to make these systems better and better.
You have a great presentation. So for the novices in technology for us, so great presentation. We read about this. How can we get involved? So AI 101 for the physician who wants to get involved in the future.
Right. Perfect. All right. So first of all, اليوم العالم كثير عم يتطور بسرعه بيختلف. يعني لو ترجع قبل 20 سنه يمكن دكتور خالد ما قريب عم keep quoting me قبل 20 سنه كنت لازم تضطر تتعلم تكتب كود، انت لازم تكتب كل شيء من الصفر. You develop your own libraries بالهيلث كير وغيره. اليوم الطريق كثير مختصر. اليوم في كثير services, online services. Let's call them machine learning as a service. يعني you can go to the platform, everything is ready for you, all the necessary libraries are loaded. You don't need to write code كثير حتى تعمل ايش بدك اياه. So this is one. Two, again, you need to learn what are the important libraries, يعني already existing AI models that are important for you. So انت مثلا على سبيل المثال بتشتغل على clinical data. في already existing many Python libraries already existing أو are بنوهم الناس قبلك. You can simply onboard them and do your discovery work. هاي الشغلة الثانية. Three, في لسه advanced platforms that charge you more, which you can do research immediately on the spot. يعني تدخل على التول, it's mostly drag and drop, right? يعني it's very simple to do your research بسهولة. في tools لسه أسهل وأسهل, and hopefully we're gonna charge people more and more. زي Biomedical, where you could do your research from writing text. You're not confined by drag and drop solutions. You can do whatever you want بالتكست تبعك. هلا ليش أنا بعرف كل هذا الكلام؟ لأن أنت كميديكال دكتور اليوم بتدخل على مجال AI. You're not supposed to learn how to do it. You need to learn how to become a scientist, how to become a data scientist. That's the hard part. So the hard part is not in learning the tools, which many people think. مفكر كل الناس إنه يا الله بايثون وبروجرامينج وهاي مش فاهم شيء. مش هو الفكرة تتعلم التولز لأنه هذا كثير صار متسهل اليوم في العالم. بقدر ما أنك تتعلم تكون real data scientist. To learn what I want to ask, what I want to ask. This is a real bioinformatics task. What I want to ask the data, how do I want to play with the data, how do I want to pre-process the data. That's a tough question. It's not how to do it tools wise. بقدر ما تتعلم تكون data scientist with your mentality. يعني if I want to answer you better. هل لازم لك specific tools ممكن ابعث لك اياهم نحكي بالتفصيل
يعطيك العافيه بس انك قلت اني اتدخل واعلق على كلامك مضبوط 100%. بس في نقطة مهمة. You don't really need to know how to become a data scientist. You are a great physician, doctor who are specialized in your field. That's why you have research teams. يعني معظم اللي بشتغل معهم أنا بالريسيرش احنا بنشتغل مع دكاترة راديولوجيست كل التخصصات. وبكون عندهم تيم داتا انجينير بيعرف كيف يديروا مانيبيوليت الداتا، في بيكون داتا ساينتست كمان بيشتغلوا وبيعملوا الكودينج، وانت you can contribute with your clinical knowledge. Now في كثير ناس they go out of their يعني way زي ما يعني صاحبنا الدكتور أمجد you go and learn how to become Python. بس هذول قلال يعني كثير و I think they have to struggle. Currently there are initiatives إنهم يدخلوا ال AI in the curriculum of medical medicine. So بيحكوا لك إنه في كثير إحنا بندخل مواد هذول يعني don't really use. فinstead we should start teaching AI in the medical field.
Right. يعني أنا اوكي سوري بدي اختم بس هاي النقطه بس تعليق صغير جدا انه الحقيقه انت بينج فيزيشن بحس انه جزء كبير من عملنا كفيزيشنز انك انت اصلا ساينتست بطبيعه الحال، يعني انت كل يوم بتعرف جديده، كل يوم تقرر انك تستكشف تعرف اشياء جديده. Doing data science and very soon doing bioinformatics as my said اليوم عم تدخل على الميديكال فيلد is not a luxury، يعني هي شيء اساسي من طريق المستقبل. يعني being understanding bioinformatics والgenomics والproteomic layers behind your patient is not a luxury. It's something very very important. Introducing these topics بالتعليم هي اساسي يعني بشكل ضخم جدا. فبتمنى من جامعاتنا بدل ما عم ناخذ كثير مواد ربما ما لها داعي انها تدخل هاي المواد بشكل اساسي. يمكن last
I have to. So we worked in AI in oil and gas. So talk about low tech, complete low tech, drilling engineers, production engineers, and the introduction of AI threatened everywhere.
Right.
And the solution we approach from a development point of view is learn to be a scientist, or go back to being a scientist and not get lost in the cyclone of transactions that you do every day, and develop that skills. But I want to, for the younger generation, it's a threat. I want to warn you about it. So focus on trying to make it part of your exercise. You can be a subject matter expert, scientist, working in parallel. We did it with the drilling engineers. They hated us when we showed up, but it worked like magic, and everybody became smarter, more productive, and embraced it. Like it was not a challenge after they saw the benefit of it. But whoever didn't embrace it was left behind. So take it as a warning from another industry.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed and benefited from this, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.